Raising funds to help young girls access sanitary towels. Former Public Protector Thuli Madonsela will be joining the expedition.
Walking for dignity and social justice. This worthy cause is what has attracted the former Public Protector to take part in this year's expedition. Professor Thuli Madonsela, who's a champion of social justice and democracy, says giving back is important for nation building.
Social justice is about equality between groups, and in our country, primarily because of the legacy of the past, many people are left behind, and young girls in rural areas and townships whose parents can't afford can't get access to sanitary hygiene. So the basic requirement of this project is to expose girls to sanitary hygiene, and that's about human dignity. But it doesn't end there. It's also about helping these girls to embrace their own human dignity, to not settle and say, just because I'm poor, my birth circumstances should define my future.
Madonsela hopes to summit Africa's highest peak, Mount Kilimanjaro, with the hope of raising enough funds for the Caring for Girls program.
So we are saying, at least through this climb, we want to encourage people to rally, come together and support the girls with sanitary pads, and do that with the understanding that for every young girl that we lose through the crack, it's going to cost us in the future.
This program is expected to benefit up to 2 million girl children.
What we would love to see, and I think many of us as women would love to see, as condoms is being distributed freely of charge, why can sanitary pads also not be distributed freely of charge, made available in our restrooms everywhere, so that these girls or women can have access to proper sanitary pads.
These climbers want to bring positive changes to their communities. One of them, 45-year-old maths and science teacher Esther Masinga. She's hoping to summit Kilimanjaro for the third time. Last year, she reached base camp of Mount Everest.
I think Everest is more challenging, but it's easy to climb because we use more days than climbing Kili. But more or less the same, not bad.
The SABC News team will also be taking part in the expedition.
It's not about only sanitary towels, but it's the mind changing, and it's blowing the mind of a young person. And I believe that traditional leaders from where I'm from, they're now coming out and say, if Mroza can be able to stand in a community under those trees, maybe under those shelters in our local churches, and speak proudly, no, we can as men. So I think this is the vehicle for change.
The first group of 17 climbers are expected to leave for Tanzania in July to summit on Mandela Day, while Madonsela will lead the second group to summit on Women's Day, August 9th. Ndundu Sitole, SABC News, Drakensberg.
All right, and we finish with the news that Morocco